Okay, so here's an example of the law of sines. What these problems are going to look like is they're going to give you a triangle with 3 pieces of information. The example we're going to do right now has 2 angles and a side. Okay? And the question is going to be solve for the triangle, which means can you find all the unknowns? This here, this capital B, right, means angle B. Okay, so let's just start figuring out what we can figure out. Angle B should be easy because it's 180 minus 32 minus 43, which is 105 degrees. So that we know. So this, if I can write it in here, is 105. Okay, so now we need to do the harder part. So if you notice, we have an angle and a side across from it. So if we think about the law of sines, okay, and I'm going to write the law of sines here in blue, just so we remember it. Sine of A over A equals sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. Okay, so this is what we're going with. So let's start with sine of 32 over 10. And I'm going to find side C first. Equals sine 43C over side C. So I'm going to cross multiply like this. 10 times sine 43. Then I'm going to divide by the sine of 32, so C is equal to 10 times sine 43 divided by sine of 32. Do that in your calculator. Okay, that's the only way to do it. And when you do that, your answer is 12.87. We're going to round to 2 decimal places for side lengths. Okay, so now we know C, so we need to go ahead and try and find B. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna always use the ones that are given to me, because then there's no rounding. We're gonna be more accurate. So sine of 32 over 10 is equal to the sine of 105 over B. We're now going to follow the exact same process we did here. Cross multiply. Notice I'm not actually going to evaluate the signs until the very end. Okay? And that's helpful because there's no rounding. You don't have to worry about exact values. Here is what B equals 10 times sine 105 over sine of 32. Plug that into the calculator exactly how you see it if you have a graphing calculator. On a phone, it's much more difficult, so this is the time to use a graphing calculator. And when you do that, you get 18.23. So this is 18.23. This is 12.87. If you take a second and think about it, biggest angle, biggest side, smallest angle, smallest side, medium. We're all good.